Welcome back, everybody. Oh, we are still out here in beautiful Stonyford, California. Just riding down from Goat Mountain via Trail 6, headed, I want to say, about northeasterly direction. And we continue to find more and more of these just beautiful, epic trails. And we've been catching some scenery that is just awesome. But we've been doing it right out here, you know, for the last few days, to the best of our ability, anyway. And we discovered, talking around the campfire the other night, that there are definitely a few rules of the road, if you will. Sorry, I'm going to pause here for a minute, wait for everybody. As I was saying, we discovered a few kind of rules of the road, if you will, that kind of make our trips here, you know, somewhat problem-free. Yeah, you got little mechanical things here and there, but this is a mechanical sport, so that's going to be happening. I'm talking about things that are detrimental to your trip, and I talked about it a couple episodes before where, you know, your core group that you ride with is very important to that regard. So we kind of came up with, one of us suggested we call it, you know, the 10 Commandments, but I think that's a bit stiff, in my humble opinion. So, you know, I'm just calling them, you know, rules of the road, if you will. Number one being, never leave your wingman. Whoever you're riding with, because I hope you don't ride alone. I don't condone it, even though I may do it very rarely, sorry, from time to time. Never leave him. He is your lifeline and you are his, especially when you're miles away from nowhere. That includes stopping at intersections, trails, waiting for him, you know, taking a look back every once in a while if he's behind you. Make sure he's still there. If not, stop. If he doesn't come after a few minutes, you know, something's up. You need to go back and check on him. Rule number 2, never leave camp with anything less than a full tank. That includes fuel in the bike and water in your camelback. Because more than a few times I have needed all of both. So it's very important to have. Get up this hill here. Ooh, that's a doozy. Yes, sir. Rule number 3, always pack a toolkit. You never know when you're going to need little things here and there. Just kind of figure out the average tools that your bike needs to survive and go with that. Okay, after a brief hill climb and get everybody back together, intermission here, we're back on the high trails. So I believe where we left off was rule number 3. You know, always carry a toolkit, and we're going to observe rule number 1 here, which is never leave your wingman, and wait for everybody to come through, and we're good. Rule number 4, never not have a map and a compass, even if it's on your smartphone, you guys. That is so unbelievably crucially important, even if it's in an area that you feel that you know well. Because if we know anything about the wilderness, is Mother Nature is far better at getting us lost than we are finding our way out. So it behooves oneself to have a little bit of a leg up on that. So you can have a regular map of the area you're riding that shows the trails and service roads. Make sure you know the names and numbers of them. Have a compass so you know what direction you need to head. God forbid you're out here when the sun goes down, you get lost. And if you're going to do it on your phone, I recommend charging your phone before you leave and not turning it on until you hit the trails. You want all of that battery life in case the worst happens. And again, I'm not just saying this to hear myself talk. I've been in those situations. You know what? It sucks. Even in our home area of Little Nanchese, Washington, it's thrown a couple of fair doozies our way where we saw something that we didn't know existed, and, you know, maybe it threw us off and we had to figure out which way to go. And it might not be that you're incredibly lost and you absolutely don't know which way to go. but it could have to do with fuel load, you guys. And if you do have a small tank, I recommend you bring a platypus bag. Believe it or not, they don't say they're for fuel, but they are chemical resistant. I've been using the same one for about 4 years. They're slim, they don't weigh anything, they hold about 2 liters of fuel. So you always got a spare, and I usually wait until I burn maybe, you know, a third of my tank and then just dump it in to get the weight off my back. But boom, then you got a full tank again, and it deletes a lot of that variable and worry and everything that you might have to be concerned with, you know, as you get further and further into like a long fun ride like this. We're probably going to do 40, 50 miles today. And we're going to make it probably on fumes by the time we get back, but it's worth it. There's a couple of us, you know, we got spare fuel. And rule number 5, I think this levels out as fairly important. Always make sure the integrity of your bike is 100% before you leave to do anything. And having said that, as always, take care of yourselves out there, everybody, and damn it, take care of each other. We'll see you soon.